Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the opening session of European Microwave Week, and more specifically also the European Microwave Conference, which officially starts today. The agenda for this morning's session is shown here. We have a few short talks from people that have been major contributors to this event, such as the European Microwave Association, etc. Then we have a main keynote from Mike Geen at Filtronic, and then there's some awards later on in the session before we wrap up the session. My contribution is a very short one at the very beginning, and it's really a pleasure for me to be able to say, well, first of all, welcome to the UK. Secondly, welcome to London, my home city, and welcome to this, what I hope you think is a very good venue, the Excel Convention Centre. And finally, this is where you can all cheer, welcome to European Microwave Week in person. I'm so delighted to see everybody here and to see people on the trade show and interacting in the sessions. This is what we've missed, isn't it? I mean, we haven't had this for more than 2 years, and so it's so great to have this kind of activity. And let's hope that it will be the first of many to come in the years to follow. It would be inappropriate of me not to thank my colleagues that have helped me organize this, and it's been a lot of help they've provided. This is the team as shown in the program book, more than 50 volunteers, and some people have volunteered hours that are way beyond that one would normally expect for this sort of thing. So we have these people to thank for the conference as a whole today. I normally, as is traditional, I give some statistics on numbers. I emphasize numbers as of today. We expect these to rise, but we're looking at in excess of 900 delegates in the conference, and that breaks down across the three conference running, the microwave conference, the integrated circuit conference, the radar conference. So those are all numbers as of today. You'll be aware that we also have other activities. We had workshops on Saturday and Sunday with around about 500 delegates there. There's the forums to come, which I'm really looking forward to. And we had an excellent doctoral school yesterday where people were actually building and testing things on site, and that was a fantastic activity. So we've got a real sense of vibrancy about the activities, and I hope you will embrace that and propagate that throughout the week. And I encourage you to obviously interact with friends and colleagues that you may not have seen for quite some time. The exhibits have opened today. There's around about 150 companies down on the trade show. We've clocked about 1,000 visitors already that have registered. There'll be more coming in during the week. And of course, the exhibitor staff is also a substantial number. Looking at the conference statistics, we had a total of 760 papers submitted. There was an enormous review process, which is very, very complicated and very reliant on our colleagues in the industry to review papers and select papers of adequate quality for the program book. So we ended up with about 516 papers, and they're then presented here in oral session, and there's some really nice posters down in the trade show, so I'd encourage you to seek out the posters as well, because there's some great papers being presented there as well. I'm just going to finish by saying thanks to the list shown here. If I were to pick out names, we'll be here for most of the afternoon, so I'm not going to do that. I've shown this a number of times this week already, and I just pick a few people that are in my mind. I was discussing earlier today the difficulty of assembling the technical program and all the logistics that goes behind it. And my friends and colleagues in particular who run what we call the Convaria system, which is the software that assembles the program that enables us to have a program book, did an absolutely fantastic job. I'm not sure if they're in the audience, but Mark van Heidinger, Christina, Andrea, and also Matthias Rudolph, all behind the scenes work, but without that we wouldn't have a show this week, so I'd like to thank them in particular. Many sponsors, our platinum sponsor Keysight, we'll be hearing from Keysight shortly. There are other companies as well, and of course on the trade show. Filtronic have contributed the career platform, which I'd encourage you to interact with, especially if you're a young professional, so that's something else to seek out. I'm going to shut up now, and I'm just going to finish with these words, which I hope you'll embrace. Please, please enjoy the week. And I hand you over to the next speaker, which is my friend and colleague, Frank van den Boogaard, to say something about the European Microwave Association. Frank?
Yeah, so thanks very much, Nick, and congratulations already, which is promising to be a very, very good week this week. Fingers crossed, but I'm convinced. So my name is Frank van den Boogaard. I'm the president of the European Microwave Association. And I might say that I'm speaking of everybody who's involved in the Microwave Association, and that I wish you a warm welcome to the first, and Nick told you already, in-person event since 2 years. And also a warm welcome to London. It's for the EuMA, it's the 5th time that we are in the UK, or perhaps I should say Great Britain, not sure. Of which we are 3 times in London, and the very first time was in 2012. So that's already 20 years ago. So we are very happy to be back again here. And for those who are new, and it might be the case, I think, after 2 years without any meeting. What's EuMA? EuMA it's the association behind the Microwave Week. We are a non-profit association with a scientific, educational, and technical purpose. We have about 1,000 members, and we have a lot of followers on our social media. We are also registered as an educational organization. This makes me very happy. And really we are there to promote microwaves and to help everybody in the microwave community wherever possible. And it ranges from giving grants to students up to organizing schools, lectures, and conferences. And the most important conference is the Microwave Week. But before telling something about the Microwave Week and about my view on microwaves, I'd like to show you this picture. It's a picture of December 2019. It was in fact a delegation of EuMA, which are sitting on the right here, talking to a delegation of the Ukrainian National University of Avionics. And that's 2 years ago. So you're seeing on the left side the rector of the university, you see the dean of the electrical facility, you see one of our General Assembly members. And when we were there, I really enjoyed visiting Kiev, and those people are so proud of what they're doing at that university, that we really liked, as EuMA, to be engaged in some kind of an agreement with them and to help them. But a few weeks after this meeting, we had our first lockdown. And now the lockdown ended, the pandemic ended more or less, and they suddenly are facing a war in the Ukraine. And within a couple of days, they lost everything. And as EuMA, we really feel committed to help them as much as possible. I'm also very, very happy that we started a joint action together with Europe. And Europe is the organization behind the European Conference on Antennas and Propagation, to help those people who escaped Ukraine as much as possible. So together with Europe, we created a website where the people from the microwave community, for example, could enter their needs. For those people who escaped, they could enter their needs there if they like to have a PhD somewhere in Western Europe, a scholarship or whatever. And everybody else can enter what they are willing to offer. And the website is more or less matchmaking between the needs and the offers. And I really hope we are going to be successful in that. That's something we can do. It's not very much yet, and we like to do more, but we do whatever is possible in our capability. So having said that, here you do see all the logos of all the Microwave Weeks since 1998. It's the very first time I see it myself in one slide, all those 25 logos. And I ask you to have a careful look at it, because if you're going to visit our booth at the exhibition hall, we are organizing microwave quiz over there 7 times a day. And one of the questions in the microwave quiz is about those logos. So have a careful look at it, see what you can detect in it, and go to the booth to get those answers. And what you're seeing on the right is also the 2 logos of the mmWave Week 2021, which is in fact held in 2022. And we have another event later this year in Milan. So this is really also for the EuMA an exceptional year where we're organizing 2 mmWave Weeks. So we have the running mmWave Week here in London, but in parallel to that, the paper submission of the mmWave Week in Milan is open. And it is still open for 2 weeks, so you still have the opportunity to submit a paper there. And please do so. What's my view on what's happening in the mmWave area? Exactly what I told you 2 slides ago. The world changed. In my view, there is a world before 24th February and there is a world after the 24th of February. And I'm really curious to see how that war in Ukraine is going to affect the technology developments in our domain. And I'm going to tell you a story. My own technical background is that's in microwave electronics and in military radar. And as a result of that, I'm also more or less involved in the science and technology organization of NATO. If you have a careful look at the technology developments in NATO until 6 weeks ago, that was trying to answer what technology is needed to get an answer to the climate change, to the energy transition. So in fact, to the global societal issues. And in my view, that's going to change. That's going to change because of that war. I like to bet there will be a renewed interest in microwave electronics. If you look at the European Committee, the European Commission, electronics was not in our innovation programs in Europe. It's not in the Horizon Europe program, it's not in the European Defence Fund. I see it a little bit in the technology forecast of the US policy statements, but I bet it's going to be back on the agenda the coming years. And of course, the big trend at this moment is the transition from 5G to 6G. And that's perhaps a transition from microwave to mmWave frequencies. And what you're seeing really over there, that's a combination and merging of sensing and communications, especially in 6G. And what's also interesting to see that in 6G, antennas and propagation is coming back. It's really an important asset for 6G. And talking about that, 2 years ago, as EuMA, we published a white paper for a strong and competitive European wireless technology ecosystem. That's still active, that paper. So we're emphasizing that paper, the enabling role and strategic importance of wireless technology for our future. It's still available, you can still download it, and I really encourage you to do that and have a look at it. There are a couple of very nice statements in it. This is our international journal. I'm not going to say too much about it. It's stable with respect to the number of submitted papers each year. 30% of that is accepted. We are in a slow transition to fully open access and trying not to increase the costs for the authors to do that. It's free for all EuMA members, and also for this microwave week, a selected number of papers are in that issue. But I'd like to draw your attention to our Internship Awards, because they're really successful. And every year we are giving away 7 awards of €4,500 each to PhDs and to master students with a background in microwaves. And we try to match them with a host in Europe. It can be one of the research institutes, can be one of the industries, can be one of the universities. And I might say that we are very successful in that. The number of submissions is growing every year. It is growing exponentially. We're doing it again this year, and the deadline to apply for those internships is the 28th of November 2022. It seems a very long time to go there, but it's in fact next week if you look at it. And that completes my presentation, and I'd like to ask everybody that if you have a very good idea, if you like to be involved in EuMA, if you like to be involved in a microwave week, if you have ideas what you should do better or should do different, if you have an idea to initiate an activity, please make yourself known, come to me, and I promise you we make it work. So thank you very much. Have a very successful week. Enjoy London. Thank you very much, Nick.
Thanks very much. I don't think we won't call for questions. We'll just carry on. Okay. Thank you.